You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, want to own a piece of history in Oswego, Kansas? We got some great news if you do. There's an old hospital that was converted into a home, and now it's up for sale.
All right. Also, Ascension Via Christi in Pittsburgh wants those on low incomes to be able to afford their much-needed medications.
And as one batch of rain moves out of the area, another batch is on its way. We'll talk about the additional rainfall and some flood watches coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. The state of Missouri yesterday evening executed a man who murdered 4 people, including 3 children. Raheem Taylor was executed by lethal injection for the deaths of his live-in girlfriend, Angela Rowe, and her 3 children, ages 5, 6, and 10 in 2004. The execution is the 3rd for Missouri in 3 months, following those of Kevin Johnson and Amber McLaughlin. Hospital building turned home in Oswego is up for sale. When the building at 402 Ohio Street in Oswego was built during the Great Depression, it was a hospital. The city of Oswego built it under the Works Progress Administration, and now it has been turned into a house and is up for sale.
And we were drawn to the building from the very beginning. I mean, it's a very quirky place because it was a hospital that kind of had been converted to other uses before we bought it. It had been used by Labette Community College. An individual had a museum here for a little while. So it had been kind of changed and had morphed into something different than a hospital.
The 21,000 square foot building is listed at $147,000. Ascension Via Christi Hospital in Pittsburgh is becoming a dispensary of hope site, and that means it's joining a pharmaceutical program aimed at delivering critical medicine at little to no cost to people on low incomes. The program offers participants a way to order medications with free weekly shipping. Hospital officials say it's another way to achieve their mission of providing the best care possible.
Our care managers here at the hospital will now direct them through this program, and they will go through this program to get what they need to go home. So grandma is not struggling at the pharmacy trying to fill her Plavix and she doesn't have the money to pay for her heart medication, but she can get that free and be able to take care of herself.
The Dispensary of Hope program started in 2007. Freeman Health System gave people a chance to learn a life-saving technique, CPR. Freeman's Screen Team hosted the community-wide course. Officials say the collapse of Buffalo Bills player Damar Hamlin was a reminder of the importance of knowing CPR, as it was critical in saving his life. Tuesday's course covered adult, child, and infant CPR techniques.
Well, there is a proper way to do it. There's a hand placement, there's a depth that you have to get to, and you have to do a certain number of compressions and in a minute. And so we teach all those things in our class.
The course also detailed the use of an automated external defibrillator. Out of this world, that's the theme for this year's 5K and Walk for Autism, hosted by Freeman Health System. The event will take place Saturday, April 22nd. It'll raise funds to support program development and scholarship assistance at the Bill and Virginia Leffen Center for Autism. The Freeman 5K started as a way to get employees exercising with coworkers and families, but evolved to support a variety of programs over the years.
So I would love for us to reach $50,000. That's kind of where we'd like to be. Help support our program development so that we can provide ABA services to individuals on the spectrum.
This is the 16th year of the Freeman 5K and the 3rd year that the walk has supported the Leffen Center. Carthage High School dance team hit the road on Tuesday. They're traveling to Orlando, Florida for a national dance competition. Before they left, though, the rest of the school gathered to wish them good luck.
Yes, we have a fantastic team. Our seniors, we have 5 seniors. They all have different captain roles. We don't have one captain because they're all such strong leaders. So not only are they really just phenomenal dancers, really talented, they're also really great students, and they're just really great leaders and really great teammates.
Finals for the competition will be Sunday. Also, a live stream will be available for purchase.
Well, we've got one batch of rain leaving the area. We got more on the way. So this batch of rain exiting the area to the east. We got some additional showers developing across parts of northeast Oklahoma, and off to our southwest, more rain building in across central Oklahoma, and that will make its way off to the northeast, which means we will see rain overspread the entire area later today. As such, though, we have flood watches for Newton, McDonald, Berry, and Lawrence counties until 6 tomorrow morning, because we've seen quite a bit of rainfall down south of I-44, and we're going to continue to see additional rainfall as we go through today. So as you see, we have this little lull in the rain, and it's not going to last very long before additional rain builds in, spreads across the entire region. Could be a rumble of thunder or two, and pockets of heavier rain out there. Rain continues into the overnight, and as temperatures fall, could turn into a light wintry mix. After it exits, we get a break tomorrow. Before tomorrow night, late tomorrow night, early Friday morning, a light wintry mix, maybe some light snow. Shouldn't accumulate to much, but could cause some slick spots on the roadways as we head into Friday morning. Now, this is additional rainfall amounts on top of what we've already seen across the area, picking up an additional ½ inch to an inch to maybe even 1.5 inches, hence those flood watches. So we got to be careful out there. MoDOT camera, 32nd in range line. Roads are still wet there. Same at 7th in range line. And we're at 41 in Joplin, feeling like 35 with that east-northeast breeze at about 9. A little colder up to the northwest. 31 Yates Center, Iola, 38 Chanute, 42 Parsons, Chetopa, Miami, and 41 Anderson, Neosho, Carthage, and Lamar as we start our day. Heading today for a high of 49 degrees. Again, with that rain just kind of lasting through. Temperatures dropping back down to a low of 35 tonight, and that brief possibility of a wintry mix. As we look at the week ahead, we get through this batch tomorrow night with maybe some of that light snow. Then we get through the weekend. We start to warm up, getting a little bit breezy here and there, but otherwise not looking too bad. And then we'll see additional rain chances late Monday and into Valentine's Day next week as well. So we absolutely need the rain. We don't need too much all at once, but to get it spread out like this should definitely be beneficial.
All right. Thanks, Chris. Coming up, Emily Frankowski from Connect to Culture stops by to tell us about some upcoming February performances, including one based around Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice.
And later, the spy balloon may have been shot down, but the jokes coming from the internet and late night shows kept the balloon very much alive. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
In Health Watch this morning, new data from the Kaiser Family Foundation says that respiratory viruses are not a major concern for most Americans. The flu, RSV, and the virus that causes COVID-19 are still affecting many, but the majority surveyed are not overly worried about getting sick, and that's despite the fact that nearly 38% of households had a recent case of those viruses. Now, according to responses collected in mid-January, half of the adults say they took some type of precautionary measure to keep from getting sick. Concern around COVID-19 is higher than it is for RSV or the flu. A government task force is recommending more screening for high blood pressure during pregnancy. The U.S. Preventative Services Task Force released a draft recommendation online Tuesday for public comment. The task force is urging doctors to monitor blood pressure during pregnancy as a screening tool for hypertensive disorders. Experts say the medical condition can sometimes go undiagnosed or untreated. And new research shows hypertension is often higher among older Black, American, Indian, and Alaskan Native women. The task force says while blood pressure is often measured during prenatal visits, measurement at every doctor's appointment would be beneficial. Well, no matter how active you are or how healthy your diet is, medical professionals say regular checkups to review the state of your heart are important for a long life. Fox News' Anna Lopez takes a look at what you can do to ensure your heart is in tip-top shape.
Do you know how healthy your heart is? With February marking American Heart Month, medical officials say knowing your risk factors for heart disease could be a matter of life or death.
It's extremely important to talk about heart disease because it's the leading cause of death for men and women globally.
According to the CDC, nearly half of all Americans have at least one of 3 key risk factors for developing heart disease, which include high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and being a smoker.
When we think about the primary risk factors, these are things that you work on towards preventing the actual heart disease from happening. And that consists of hypertension, managing high cholesterol, managing obesity, and really taking a hard look at what we are consuming.
But while maintaining a healthy diet that's low in sodium, but high in fresh produce, whole grains, and lean meats can reduce your risks for heart disease, other risk factors such as age and ethnicity are out of your control.
We know that African American and Hispanic populations are more prone to having hypertension. As an example, hypertension is one aspect of heart disease.
Health officials, meantime, also recommend staying physically active to promote good heart health. But besides keeping your body in shape, medical professionals say your mental health also shouldn't be ignored.
Engaging in some relaxation, some deep breathing to help really ground ourselves and decrease that stress, which often can lead to hypertension or high blood pressure.
Anna Eliopoulos, Fox News.
We've got ourselves some rain exiting the region, and we've got more rain on the way. Some showers already starting to develop across northeast Oklahoma and down to the southwest across central and eastern Oklahoma. More rain coming in. This is a very big batch, and it will eventually overspread the entire area through the morning. We've got flood watches, Newton, McDonald, Berry, and Lawrence counties for 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, so do be aware of this situation as we've received quite a bit of rain down there. Rain overspreads the region later this morning, hangs on across the area as we head into the afternoon and into the evening hours, even into the overnight. And as temperatures drop this evening, a light wintry mix is possible. Shouldn't add up to much, but could cause some slick spots. Then, late tomorrow night, early Friday morning, we've got another round of wintry weather, light wintry mix, maybe some light snow. Again, shouldn't add up to too much, but slick spots definitely a possibility. Additional rainfall on top of what we've already seen across the area. We could pick up another ½ inch to an inch, and even down south, maybe another 1.5 inches, which is why we have some of those flood watches that are out there. Wet roads at 32nd and Range Line, but the rain, at least for now, has stopped in Joplin. Wet roads at 7th and Range Line. We're sitting at 41 in Joplin, feels like 35 with an east-northeast breeze at about 9. Across the area, here's what we look like. Colder up north, 31 Yates Center, Iola, 42 Parsons, Chatopa, Miami, and 41s in Anderson, Neosho, Carthage, and Lamar. We are heading for a high of roughly 49 degrees today. Could have some periods of heavier rain, maybe a rumble of thunder or two in there as well. Then that brief possibility of a wintry mix this evening. Rain clears out by sunrise, and we drop back down to a low of 35. Now, once we get through tomorrow night's light snow situation into Friday morning, we start to warm up through the weekend, and as we do so, we watch additional rain chances by late Monday and into Valentine's Day of next week. We got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Join us in the studio, Emily Frankowski from Connect to Culture. Welcome back to the show. Hard to believe it's already been a month since the last time we spoke. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
There's so much going on all the time.
And that's a great thing. You know, we were talking about that. It is great to have so many excellent opportunities in the area. And we're highlighting just a few of them, but we've got a couple right off the top to talk about this morning.
Yes, we do. The first one we've got is Steven Spooner, who is coming to Joplin this Friday, which is February 10th. And he's a wonderful pianist. He's world-renowned. He's award-winning. I actually first learned of him because when I was in high school, I attended the Missouri Fine Arts Academy, which, if you don't know about the Academy, it is a state-funded program that high schoolers across Missouri can apply for if they want to further their learning on anything arts related, be it visual or performing. I went for vocal performance and got to take a lot of different classes with a lot of wonderful musicians. He was one of them. And so when I was programming the season, I thought, and we have this beautiful new 1949 restored Steinway. If you haven't seen it, you haven't heard it, it's worth a trip just for that. And when I was thinking about that, I thought, Steven Spooner. You know, he was a wonderful teacher. He actually is a teacher at the Peabody Institute right now, which is a very prestigious conservatory for music students that want to go into the profession of music. He is going to be giving a free performance this Friday, February 10th. You don't need to have any tickets. You don't need to have any reservations. Additionally, the next day, February 11th, just so happens to be my birthday.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you. He's going to be giving a free and open to the public workshop that is artistry and piano performance. A lot of students from the Joplin Piano Teachers Association will be attending, as well as their teachers. Anyone can come and sit in on this. After that, he has a couple, actually maybe a few one-on-one master classes with some very exceptional students in piano that want to continue that. So it's just wonderful that we have the opportunity to bring him to the Harry M. Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex through a grant by the W.R. Corley Memorial Trust, just to provide entertainment for people that love piano, as well as for students, that to inspire them to continue and to either go into a profession of being a performer or maybe even a teacher.
So certainly some excellent opportunities, whether you just want to listen or, like you said, if you want to advance your musical career, excellent opportunities. It's great to be able to have these resources here in the 4 states. Emily, thank you so much. Again, there's so much going on. We're going to have you come back in our second half hour. We're going to cover a couple other things and some additional things going on out there that we can't get to on this list. This is a short list, and there's a ton more than this, and we'll cover all of that when we come back. Well, the U.S. military may have shot down that Chinese spy balloon over the weekend, but it didn't let the air out of jokes that have blown up online and on late-night television.
Jeannie Moose has them for you.
When the U.S. shot down the suspected Chinese spy balloon...
Holy crap, they just shot it. No way!
The number of pot shots being taken in memes and jokes only inflated. The balloon found its way into everything.
Taking a shot!
From Top Gun to Snoopy versus the Red Baron. Jimmy Fallon let John Dutton from Yellowstone
There you go.
take credit for the takedown. The jokes kept going. Would you like to spy in my beautiful balloon? Even those who scoffed at the story couldn't ignore it.
A Chinese spy balloon over Montana. Oh my God. Now they know where we keep the cows.
Some imagined what a Mexican spy balloon or a German spy balloon might look like. SNL went live to the remains.
Let's see how it looks. Experts were saying you're the size of 3 buses.
Okay, ouch. How would you like it if someone measured your width in buses?
Poor Joe Biden. Obama got to order the assassination of bin Laden, and all he gets to do is murder a bag of helium.
A Biden critic sicked the balloon on the president. Meanwhile, Trump critics and even a Chinese official imagined America retaliating with its own inflatable. Remember the former president portrayed as a diapered baby? Even Donald Trump Jr. retweeted the images saying, "Not gonna lie, this is funny." The forecast for this weather balloon is wet with a 100% chance of mockery. Jeannie Moose, CNN.
And live from New York, it's Saturday night!
New York.
Yeah, I think there was more coverage of memes and jokes about the balloon than about the balloon itself.
I've been waiting to see Jeannie Moose's take on it, so
yeah,
she
always does a great job.
Yeah.
And that was fantastic. Well, we've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:28. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt laid out his vision for Oklahoma's next year during his annual State of the State address ahead of the legislative session. Governor Stitt said some of the big issues he wants lawmakers to address are tax cuts, specifically the grocery tax. Governor also talked about education and his push for school choice and performance-based pay for Oklahoma teachers. And he called on lawmakers to ban all gender transition surgeries and hormone therapies on minors. Well, firefighters respond to a fire at a vacation spot in Rogers, Arkansas. At about 7:20 Monday night, the Rocky Branch Fire Department responded to a fire at the Tanglewood Lodge on Lakeshore Drive. Multiple additional departments showed up to lend their support. No occupants or firefighters were injured. The extent of the damage to this vacation resort is still under assessment, but at least one source calls it a total loss. The lodge has sat on Beaver Lake for more than 40 years. City of Joplin gave us a sneak peek at how they manage the road conditions after winter storms. Vehicles like snowplows and street sweepers start working on the road right after a winter storm is over. And if there's a pothole after the snow, the city temporarily fixes it. Asphalt factories are closed during the winter months, and the city does permanent hole fillings during the summer.
What you will see is during the summer months, that's when we do the, of course, patching the potholes. You can't do the permanent patches in the winter time because the asphalt plants are not open. So we have to wait, so we do temporary patches.
Pouring asphalt in the cold weather will damage the road even more, and the asphalt will not set correctly. On Tuesday, Special Olympics athletes hit the hardwood for a basketball competition, and that was at Pitt State's Weed Gymnasium. The event gave some adult athletes a chance to show off their skills.
I'm very happy about competing today. I'm looking forward to doing this. It's my 5th time this year to do it, and so I'm really excited.
The kids' competition tips off today. It begins at 9 a.m. and will run until 2 in the afternoon. For years now, the War Wagon has carried family and friends to Arrowhead Stadium. Chiefs season ticket holders, Chad Como, manager of Como Jewelry in Pittsburgh, and Chris Keller, manager of the Joplin Como Jewelry, gear up for the big games. The War Wagon will take a break during the Super Bowl this Sunday as the two celebrate at home with their families.
It's our hobby. Yeah. A lot of people hunt, fish, golf. We participate in
tailgate and go to Chiefs games.
Como and Keller have been season ticket holders for 16 years, and the War Wagon is not the only Chiefs memorabilia the friends own. Como Jewelry in Pittsburgh is filled with Chiefs decor. Like kids at many schools in the area, students in Carthage are showing their support for the Chiefs with a Spirit Week. They did it with Tailgate Tuesday. Students were encouraged to wear sunglasses, hats, and of course, Chiefs gear.
It is a good and positive thing for kids to show school spirit, show camaraderie, and in this case, team spirit, and do it in a collective manner. It's very fun, it's energizing, it gets them wound up in a positive way. They learn how to be excited and yet have good self-control.
Love those colors. The rest of the week at Carthage schools includes Read Wednesday, Travis Throwback Thursday, and Red Friday.
Okay, hold up. If our bosses are watching, Britt or Brooke, we need a KOAM News War Wagon. I don't care how we do it.
We can repurpose one of the old life trucks.
They're just sitting there. Let's repurpose it into a war wagon. Imagine that rolling into your town during severe weather or breaking news. You know something's going on if the KOAM News War Wagon shows up.
Doesn't sound very friendly.
No, it doesn't. But what is somewhat friendly is the Super Bowl situation.
Let's think about the name,
little
but
battle.
I like the concept, but let's think about the name.
I'm just saying, if Como has one, why can't we?
Hey, if you guys think of a good name for like something to...
Yeah. I have no idea what to do with it, though.
A visiting vehicle representing KOAM.
Something like that, something like that.
What should we call it?
So, yeah. All right, so the Super Bowl coming up 4 days away.
We're discussing it.
It is the battle of green and red in the desert, where two watering holes in Scottsdale are pledging their loyalties to only one team apiece. The Arrowhead will point you to Pub Rock Live, and you can find your nest at Rock Bar.
Well, diehard fans of the Eagles and Chiefs hanging out at these valley bars are more than excited for the big game. All of them ready for what they expect to be a great game, and sure their team will take the W. The one thing they can agree on is how lucky they are to have a spot to call their own in Arizona.
And our question for you this morning, are you planning on watching the Super Bowl? So far, 70% of you say that you are, 30% of you say that you're not. Take time to vote through our app, through our website, take part in discussion on our Facebook page. A quick check of our forecast. Skywatch Storm Tracker showing us we've got some rain exiting the area, but look off in northeast Oklahoma. More rain developing and on the way from Oklahoma, and this is a big batch that will eventually overspread the entire region. We do have flood watches for Newton, McDonald, Berry, and Lawrence counties through 6 o'clock o'clock tomorrow morning, so watch out down there. This rain again will continue through the day, and we'll pick up an additional inch to inch and a half in some locations as we go through today. We got cloudy skies in Joplin. 41 feels like 35 with an east-northeast breeze at 9 miles an hour. A little colder off to the northwest, 32 Yates Center, 31 Iola, 43 Miami, and 41 in Neosho. Now for today, the rain will continue, heading for a high of 49, maybe a rumble of thunder and some heavier rain out there. And as we head into tonight, we get a little bit colder, 35. Rain's gone by sunrise, but as temperatures fall, a brief transition to a wintry mix is possible. Shouldn't add up to much, but slick spots definitely a possibility as we head into tomorrow morning. We'll be back with more right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Emily Frankowski back from Connect to Culture. Thanks for hanging around with us. We've had a lot of fun this morning.
We have.
And we've got more fun that's going on with Connect to Culture at the Cornell Complex.
Yes.
Again, only a couple of events left on this list, but there's so much more than that happening.
Yes, everything and more is on connecttoculture.org. If you go to there, go to our calendar, sort through the different categories, you'll figure out everything arts, culture, entertainment going on in the four-state area.
As you mentioned, there's a lot of stuff going
There
on.
is.
But two big events you wanted to highlight here.
Yes, two upcoming shows in February. We've got The Secret Agency coming to the Cornell Complex, and that's on February 14th, which is Valentine's Day.
Ooh.
But this is a wonderful day to show your love for your kids. This is a wonderful, family-friendly, Grammy-winning hip-hop performance. You can see right there, it looks like a ton of fun. There's just so much fun, such great lyrics. They do rap. They talk about intelligence in kids and just bringing out their uniqueness. We're going to be doing a variety of also school shows, bringing in the entire fourth grade from Joplin schools and other schools to come and see them another day. But this is the public performance, a lot of fun, high energy. You'll be out of your chair dancing, I've heard. They've told me that prepare for a wonderful dance party. You can see it's going to be a lot of fun. But they do lots of, just talking about kids' intelligence, their uniqueness, and also mixes it with funk and a bit of rap. Lots of fun. And then for all of the theater buffs out there, we've got a real treat with Aquila Theater in Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. This is one of my favorite books growing up. And it's the classic tale of Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth, their two families, overcoming pride and prejudice to finally maybe end up together. Who knows? You got to come out and figure out if they're going to end up together or not in this theatrical, wonderful show. But Aquila Theater is one of the foremost producers of theater in the United States, and they're a professional touring theatrical company. You'll be able to see a professional production with actors that travel around the United States doing these performances. A lot of fun. This is February 22nd. It is a Wednesday. It's 7 p.m. Tickets are on sale at connecttoculture.org for both of those shows. I would say to get them quickly because definitely for Pride and Prejudice, we've had a lot of ticket sales recently because people are very excited to see something of this quality in Joplin. It's just really rare, and now it's going to become less rare because we have the wonderful Cornell Complex where we can have all of these performances. Yeah,
and we've only got a few seconds, but what's it like now to be able to bring in such high caliber productions to this area?
It's wonderful. It's wonderful to have a place that we can choose all the shows, bring all of this to the Joplin area and just keep providing more and bringing what people want to have. If you have an idea, get in contact with us. We want to bring things that the Joplin area wants to see.
All right, Emily, thank you so much for joining us. Again, information at connecttoculture.org, and you can also find this information at KOAMnewsnow.com. We will see you again next month, and we will see you right after this break. We are watching additional rain start to move into the area, some of it redeveloping over northeast Oklahoma. And as it does so, all of us going to get in on the rain action as the day progresses. We do have flood watches for Newton, McDonald, Berry, and Lawrence counties through 6 this evening. So do be aware of that if you're traveling down south. We've received a lot more rainfall down there than anywhere else. And with more on the way, that could lead to some flooding problems. All of us getting in on the rain. Once it builds in, it will last throughout the afternoon, into the evening, and into the overnight. Whereas temperatures fall, it could become a brief wintry mix. Now, once this moves out, we're going to see additional winter weather, some light snow, a light wintry mix late Thursday night into early Friday morning. Both of these situations, we're not anticipating much in the way of accumulations, but could lead to some slick spots on the area roadways. So rainfall on top of what we've already received could rack up another ½ inch to an inch, maybe even an inch and a half in some locations. So we've got to keep an eye on the flooding possibilities. Wet roadways, MoDOT camera at 32nd and Rangeline. Same at 7th and Rangeline. More rain on the way. 41 in Joplin, feeling like 35 with an east-northeast breeze at 9. We're still cold off to the northwest. 32 Yates Center, 31 in Iola, 43 Miami, and 41 in Neosho. Now for today, we're heading for a high of about 49 degrees, maybe a rumble of thunder too, some heavier rain out there. And as we head into tonight, as the temperatures drop, again, a brief changeover to a wintry mix possible, and we will be down to 35 with the rain clearing by sunrise. That's a check of that forecast. Here's Tanya Bach with Consumer Watch.
Well, Bed Bath & Beyond is closing more stores. Tuesday, the retailer announced it would be shutting down 150 locations. Just a week after it announced it was closing 87 stores. The home goods chain has not released a list of the locations of the new store closures, nor have they said how many workers will be impacted. Tuesday, Bed Bath & Beyond said it raised $1 billion in a last-ditch effort to stave off bankruptcy after it reported earlier this year that it defaulted on a loan and may not be able to remain in business. The new closings mean Bed Bath & Beyond have shuttered 400 stores in the past year, almost half the stores it had opened in February of last year. Boeing says it plans to cut about 2,000 office jobs this year. The layoffs will come in finance and human resources, and some jobs will be retained but outsourced to India. While Boeing is making cuts in one area of the company, it also plans to add 10,000 engineering and manufacturing jobs. Boeing slashed its staff by 20,000 workers during the pandemic in 2020, but added 15,000 employees last year. Well, Microsoft is revamping its Bing search engine with the power of artificial intelligence. The tech giant says it plans to invest billions in OpenAI, the company that's behind the ChatGPT. They believe the update will allow Bing to provide a list of search results as well as answer questions, chat with users, and even generate content to respond to queries. The updated Bing could be made available for the public to try as early as Tuesday. Only a small group of users will have unlimited access. The company said full access will roll out to millions of users in the coming weeks. We'll be right back with more after this, but first, let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. Super Bowl 57 kicks off Sunday night when the Kansas City Chiefs meet the Philadelphia Eagles.
And there's one Super Bowl super fan who will attend for the 57th straight year.
Wow. David Eade talked to 86-year-old Don Chrisman from Maine, who's not missed a single year in the stands.
It's special.
On Wednesday morning, 86-year-old Don Chrisman will head west for his 57th straight Super Bowl.
I keep saying I'm going to give up, but then I get there's something inside that says you got to go.
This is a game ball from Super Bowl 51, the overtime game.
Don, a diehard Patriots fan, is in a unique fraternity.
Well, we think it's now down to 8 total, which we think we're the only 3 fans.
Although there were a few close calls.
You know, I thought it was over so many times, you know, and then I said 50 for sure, and then the damn Patriots went and got in 51. I had to go.
And on Wednesday, he'll be going again, hopefully with his daughter Sue.
I hope she's going because she's been my lifeline for the last 6 years, and, you know, getting around is not like it used to be. And sometimes I have to use a wheelchair if it's great distance.
That is me at Super Bowl 1 with Stanley.
But keeping the streak alive is also a big expense.
Money, everywhere you look, there's big dollars. And we just go for the fun of it, you know, the guys, and to have a reunion.
A reunion he hopes will continue.
I'm afraid if I think if I gave it up and a day went by, then I'd brush it off and it's over. But until you get to, as long as you have the opportunity to get there, you kind of keep trying.
Wow. That's impressive.
Well, a GoFundMe page has been set up to help Crispin keep that streak alive. I'm curious what a Super Bowl ticket cost for the Super Bowl one.
I was hoping he'd mention that when he was
Yeah.
talking about prices going up and things, that he might mention what the first ticket cost. But I mean, it's been 57 years ago too, so I don't remember what things cost a year ago. So
wow.
Well, hopefully he can get there and keep that streak alive. And we're $12. Tim tells us $12 is what a ticket to Super Bowl one cost.
Wow,
That's
but that was a
incredible.
lot more money back then.
That was a long time ago.
I don't think
That was
it like
a lot more
correlates
money.
to like 4,000 now.
Probably not, though. Probably not. We do have a lot more rain on the way, too. We're not breaking that streak anytime soon. Starting to see more rain showers develop as the bigger batch moves off to the east. Another one rolling in from Oklahoma, and this one, as the morning progresses, will overspread the entire region. And as such, we do have flood watches for Newton, McDonald, Berry, and Lawrence counties until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. So do be careful. Watch out around low water crossings, because as we get additional rainfall today, that could lead to some flooding problems down south. Rain again overspreading the area. A rumble of thunder or two possible with some pockets of heavier rain persists into the overnight. And as temperatures fall, we could see a brief transition to a wintry mix before this system kicks out of here. And then by late tomorrow night and early Friday, another wintry mix, some light snow possible. Neither of these should add up to much in terms of wintry accumulation, but could lead to slick spots tomorrow morning and then again Friday morning. On top of what we've already received, we could pick up another ½ inch to an inch to even an inch and a half across the region. So much needed rain. We just don't need it all at once. Wet roadways at 32nd and Range Line on the MoDOT camera there. Same at 7th and Range Line from our camera. 41 feels like 35 in Joplin. East-north breeze at 9 miles an hour. Still a little cooler off to the northwest. 31 Iola, 32 Yates Center, 39 Independence, 42 Veneta, 43 Miami, and 41 Neosho, Carthage, Lamar, and Nevada. Today, heading for that high of about 49. We'll have the rain continue throughout the afternoon, into the evening, and to the overnight. And then this evening, we drop back down to 35. Rain and everything is out of here by sunrise. We do get that break tomorrow, up to 50 before the next round moves in. Once we get through that, though, check this out. Temperatures really start to warm up through the weekend and into the start of next week. But then we have additional rain chances Monday evening into Tuesday. We'll be back with more right after this.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Here's what's happening today. President Biden travels to Wisconsin to meet with union workers one day after focusing heavily on the economy at the State of the Union. In his speech, the president asked Republicans to work with him on his economic recovery plan. In a Republican response, Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders asserted the White House is focused on a left-wing culture war. Rescue crews from the U.S. and around the world are descending on Turkey to assist in recovery efforts. Hundreds of aftershocks and freezing conditions are making the search effort even more difficult. Thousands have been killed, but there are some moments of hope, with young children and newborns found alive among the rubble. The U.S. Navy is continuing to scour the Atlantic Ocean as it collects the remnants of the Chinese spy balloon that was shot down on Saturday. Officials say there are a dozen separate sites. New images show debris being hauled onto Navy boats. CBS News has learned some of that has been sent to an FBI lab in Quantico, Virginia, for analysis.
We've got rain coming back into the picture, maybe a rumble of thunder with some heavier rain, and don't forget flood watches in Newton, McDonald, Berry, and Lawrence counties through 6 tomorrow morning. A high of 49, winds could gust 20 to 25 miles an hour, down to 35 tonight. Rain out of here by sunrise, but as temperatures drop, it could become a brief, light, wintry mix. Shouldn't add up to much, but slick spots possible. Then again, tomorrow night into early Friday, more light, wintry mix, light snow possible. Again, no big accumulations, but slick spots possible. After that, though, we start warming up through the weekend and into next week with additional rain chances late Monday and into Tuesday.
Well, telling someone to go fly a kite isn't an insult today.
February 8th is National Kite Flying Day. It encourages people to both make and send up the aerial contraptions.
National Day calendar says kites date back to 470 BC in China. We do know they like to fly things in the sky. Early models were made of natural items like bamboo, silk, and vines, and they were a part of ceremonies and lore.
People on the South Sea Islands might have come up with kites around the same time. So go out there, go fly a kite.
I'm kind of surprised it's a February National Day thing because it's an outdoor activity, and sometimes in February it is darn cold.
Yeah, and there's not always enough wind. Like March would be a better time.
It's been a very windy week.
It has been, but in general, I'm saying, in general, we are windier in spring. And so it would be better, I think, in March. But hey, whatever day they pick is the day they pick.
There you go. They needed something for today. National Go Fly a Kite Day, but don't do it in the rain.
Yeah, there's a national day for everything every day. So don't worry about it. There's something else coming up tomorrow. And thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We're going to be back with more news and weather, maybe even a kite or two today at noon.
Have a great morning and an even better day.